Y'all, I'm afraid that we're losing recipes because why are we ending relationships from conversations that we never actually had with people? Like we're having full blown internal dialogues and breakups, and the person involved has no idea that they've been outgrown, that you've released them, or anything of that nature. And I feel like social media encourages this.
Leave people behind.
Protect your peace.
Not everyone can go with you.
It's like social media teaches you how to disconnect, but doesn't teach you how to really have a conversation. I know it sounds wise, but most of the time it's just confirmation bias. Like, I know people scroll on social media and they find a sentence that validates the story that they're already telling themselves. And instead of doing the adult thing by going to that person and asking them directly, like, hey, this rubbed me the wrong way. Did you know that? Or did you mean that? What did you mean? We just end up saying that we've outgrown them. And I feel like it's people's favorite thing to say now is, oh, I outgrew that person. But the reality is we're avoiding conversations. And part of that avoidance, I think, comes from people skipping the most basic relational responsibility that we have to one another. And that's giving people the agency to speak for themselves. Whether that's to explain themselves, to clarify, to correct, to give an opportunity for them to say what it is and what it isn't. And most of the time when someone's words or their silence rubs us the wrong way, or makes us feel a type of way, we want to escape that discomfort as fast as possible. And that's when we go into narrative building mode, where we start to tell ourselves a story that justifies us walking away without asking questions first. And I feel like we start to build these internal deadlines where we're like, okay, if they don't text me by tomorrow morning, if I don't wake up to a text tomorrow morning, that means they're cut off. If they don't like my last post, that means they're a monitoring spirit. If they don't call me in the next 5 minutes, they're cut off. Like, these are silent tests. These are internal ultimatums that the other person is not aware of. And basically, these are just conclusions that we've built up in our minds that we haven't actually expressed out loud. You're basically taking that other person's role in the story and acting it out yourself. Like, it's manufactured by you for you to support avoidant behavior. And we avoid because it's comfortable. The assumptions come fast. Silence starts to feel like it's the safest thing possible. And what we really want is clarity. Like, we truly want clarity, but clarity requires conversation. And that seems to be the most difficult thing to do. I think relationships are the greatest teachers of our lives. And I think relationships give us the opportunity to see our blind spots, to have our traumas and our patterns and our strengths and parts of ourselves that we can't see alone visible. Like, they're visible when in relation to someone else. So when we try to escape relationships without confronting anything, when we silently walk away instead of participating fully, I think we miss out on the wisdom that, these connections were trying to give us, and we trade real lessons for ego protection and then wonder why the same patterns continuously repeat in our lives. Part of why we continue to repeat these patterns is because we forget to let people be individuals while staying connected to them. It's like we want our friends to be carbon copies of us. We want the same pace. We want the same choices, the same dreams, the same emotional style, or suddenly the relationship is misaligned. And I think early 2000s, like Black TV shows like Girlfriends, Living Single, even The Game and like The Parkers, everybody had a totally different personality, totally different interests, totally different life paths, but that's the thing. It's like conflict was allowed. There was conflict. There were misunderstandings. But nobody was dropping friends every time someone's storyline shifted. And now it feels like we want our friends to be reflections, not real people. We want validation. We don't really want variety. And like, I see a lot of social media posts where girls will be like, why don't I have friends like this? But they're missing the point. Like, they're looking at the aesthetic, but they're not looking at the fact that everyone was allowed to be an individual, and they were not judged. They were not kicked to the curb. They were not called a monitoring spirit if they went off and like started focusing on their own interests. These are things that we saw a lot of examples of, but now it's been packaged into branding rather than dissecting the actual relationship dynamic. So I feel like a lot of people want people to be mirrors of them. And when you need everyone around you to make the same choices as you, to make you feel confident in your path and whatever journey you're on, that's really not alignment. Like, I want to stress that that is not alignment. That's basically you trying to cover up your insecurity with branding. And I think two people can be on different timelines and still be right next to each other. I think two people can have different dreams and aspirations and still support each other fully. Like, none of that is possible without communication, though. Making the assumption that because you two are focused on different things that you're not in alignment and you're not meant to walk alongside each other, I think that's crazy. And for a minute, social media almost got me. The algorithm almost got me. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe people are just here for a season. Maybe people are just meant to fall off as you're moving up in life and switching up and whatever. But no, it's like, I think that's a cop out. It's a cop out for the communication that you're not actually having about each other's goals, having an interest in each other's goals, regardless of if you share that same goal or not. I think that's super important. But yeah, don't give people silent deadlines that they're not aware of, and because they're going to fail every time. You're setting it up for them to fail. You're setting them up to disappoint you for things that are unspoken. Give people a chance to speak, because if you just ask, most people will tell you. But when you don't, they have no idea what's going on in here. So before you end a relationship, I want you to ask yourself, did you talk to them? Or did you talk to yourself about them until the storyline felt true?